Good morning. Guess what day it is? It's November 4th, 2024. And there are a couple of things going on today. It's National Candy Day, and that sounds delicious. But it's also Use Your Common Sense Day. And I want to read a poem to you about the death of common sense. And we do not know who the author of this poem is. It says, "Today we mourn the passing of a beloved old friend, Common Sense, who has been with us for many years. No one knows for sure how old he was, since his birth records were long ago lost in bureaucratic red tape. He will be remembered as having cultivated such valuable lessons as knowing when to come in out of the rain, why the early bird gets the worm, life isn't fair, and maybe it was my fault. Common sense lived by simple, sound financial policies. Don't spend more than you can earn. And reliable strategies. Adults, not children, are in charge. His health began to deteriorate rapidly when well-intentioned but overbearing regulations were set in place. Report of a 6-year-old boy charged with sexual harassment for kissing a classmate. Teens suspended from school for using mouthwash after lunch. And a teacher fired for reprimanding an unruly student only worsened his condition. Common sense lost ground when parents attacked teachers for doing the job that they themselves had failed to do in disciplining their unruly children. It declined even further when schools were required to get parental consent to administer sun lotion or an aspirin to a student, but could not inform parents when a student became pregnant and wanted to have an abortion. Common sense lost the will to live as the churches became businesses and criminals received better treatment than their victims. Common sense took a beating when you couldn't defend yourself from a burglar in your own home, and the burglar could sue you for assault. Common sense finally gave up the will to live after a woman failed to realize that a steaming cup of coffee was hot. She spilled a little in her lap and was promptly awarded a huge settlement. Common sense was preceded in death by his parents' truth and trust, by his wife, discretion, by his daughter, responsibility, and by his son, reason. He is survived by his 4 step-brothers. I know my rights, I want it now, someone else is to blame, and I'm a victim. Not many attended his funeral because so few realized he was gone. If you still remember him, pass this song. If not, join the majority and do nothing. Yes, it seems like our society has abandoned common sense these days, but it's not hopeless. You still control the way you act and react. You can use your common sense. You can restore your own mind to right thinking. The Bible talks about how we control our minds, how we bring our minds to a state of right thinking. Philippians 4:8 says, "Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things." And Romans 12:2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Colossians 3:2 says, "So set your mind on things above and not on things on earth." So as you make decisions today, remember, use your common sense.